Greetings, Tecmo Super Bowl fans. This is Trojan 1979 coming at you once again with a special guest, Darthrockman. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing real good. How are you, Troy?
I'm doing fantastic. We have a great game here today between Tundrayeti as the Denver Broncos taking on Prime as the San Diego Chargers. You may recognize the voice of Darthrockman from some of the broadcasts at the most recent Tundra Bowl tournament, which took place on Pro Bowl weekend this year. And we're glad to have Darthrockman with us today, offering some commentary as we see the action. So let's go ahead and get the action started. It looks like Tundrayeti as the Broncos will be kicking off. Something of a mirror matchup. These two teams have a lot of similarities. Your thought on this matchup?
This is one of my favorite matchups, actually. Denver-San Diego. I called this at Madison recently, and the reason why I like it is because if you're playing early in a group play, it kind of takes away some of the CCs that you'll get from newer players, and it forces them to try and be accurate against a couple quarterbacks that don't have a lot of passing control.
So I oftentimes will see a quarterback swap out in these teams where you'll see Tolliver, they'll put in Mark Vlasic, and you'll see Elway go to the bench for Kubiak. In this matchup, do you prefer to have the high velocity mobile options, or do you prefer to have those that JJ capability with the pass delivery being a little bit slower?
With my style, I am more into the high speed. To me, I like to do burn routes, like to try and hit those quick. I have seen guys like Joey Gatz and a few others, put in those quarterbacks for the JJ. And it's just a matter of different style. It depends on what you want to do and what your game plan is. And the other factor would be health. I may make a different decision based on health.
Well, nice run last down by Marion Butts up top using run 3. This time Tolliver stretches the field and throws it underneath to Ronnie Harmon. First down, looking good so far.
Yeah, so far so good. A little bit of a lag here. I don't know if that's in our broadcast or if that was truly in the game. But we'll see how it goes as it progresses here.
We have a first down and 10. The run 3 again is called to Marion Butts. Smith there. It looks like slight tapping advantage to Tundrayeti at this point, 11 versus 10. We'll see if that continues. Pass 4 coming up here. And Tolliver, it looks like everything's covered over the top. And wisely waiting for Smith to make that change and throws it underneath the Harmon again. So pass 4 working so far for the Chargers.
That was really a good play by Prime. He had 2 players there, and you can see the defender, Mecklenburg, was in between those 2, and he hit the right tap, hit the short guy there, and had a nice gain.
4-yard scramble there by Tolliver. Looks like the tap advantage is 2 at this point, 8-10. Let's see if that plays a factor. And we have offset eye. Lots of options open, but Tolliver is engaged, fumbles, luckily goes out of bounds there. Ooh, Tecmo gods have struck early.
Yeah, he's hugging the sideline on that one, and it's a good thing he did because it looked like as if that could have been a big play right there.
Back-to-back pass 2 there. This time he calls it, and Tundrayeti says, not in my house. And we see Mecklenburg go ahead and try to block a John Carney field goal.
Looks good.
No trouble there. 1 in 5 chance to block. Was not the 1 in 5 chance. Braden on the return here. I'm accustomed to seeing someone else back there bring that kick back. When you're using the Broncos on kick return, what's the ideal scenario there for your kick returner?
Well, I mean, to me, if you don't have a lot of hitting power, I'm looking for the highest initial running speed. You're going to go by I think Old Dirty Tecmo brought that out in the last broadcast that you had, that it's going to go by your offensive line number 5 as far as max speed. But if you don't have a lot of hitting power, I'm looking for a good initial burst to get out of that end zone and potentially avoid being tackled at the 10-yard line.
Well, interesting sequence there. We had a burn route attempt that didn't go as planned. Gil Bird is there to snatch that John Elway pass up. And Marion Butts taking 9 yards on first down. We have a pass two possible here. Yep. And again, Tundrayeti may be sitting on this play, say, hey, you hurt me in the past. We're not going to go ahead and give you this. So we'll see here if he toggles back and forth between that and pass 4. The running game so far has not blown open for Prime. He's had some decent runs at this point. Very interesting to see the split running load there between Harmon and Butts with the weapon like Butts on the field. Your thoughts on that?
Denver is hard because they have a linebacker 4, and so Prime has put that split back in there, and he might be using it more for a decoy. I'm not sure because he might be baiting that, so you can sometimes put linebacker or play against linebacker 4 and do a burn route on top because now the defender's on the bottom, and so you can kind of hit that wide receiver 1 on top, and so he might have done that on purpose. I'm not a huge fan of that myself just because I want to try and have a better running play in there. But it all depends on what your strategy is with your game plan.
We saw run one there that almost went to the house. We had a number of near misses between the tackles, but we have a great throw across field. B.J. Tolliver to Anthony Miller, best receiver on the field. Had a lot of room to throw that, and we have the second points of the game. First touchdown. Extra point is good. It's now a 10-0 game. Prime and Prime rolling here, and I think we only have really one offensive play in the books so far for Tundrayeti, which was that interception to Gilbert. So definitely an uphill climb to start the second quarter.
Yeah, Prime has been playing online, I would say, for just about a year and a half, but you would might say that that's not a long time, but Prime has played a lot in the last year and a half, and he's actually done quite well in a lot of leagues. So Tundrayeti, I've seen him before. I've played him in TPC, but I'm not quite sure of his experience level. So I would guess this favor would go in Prime here just from experience, but I guess I won't rule Tundrayeti out because I don't know much about him.
Interesting sequence. Their first down goes not Tundrayeti's way. Gets a play called and completes, but for a loss. And then on second down, for some reason, the tap advantage did not come out. And again, we have ourselves another called play. I think 2 of the 4 have been called here so far. And just nothing doing it. Now we've got to punt it away with a 10-0 disadvantage. And time to use the entire playbook here for Prime. We'll see if Tundrayeti can mount some defense here and try to get the ball back before the end of the half.
Yeah, this is definitely in Prime's favor right here, obviously. As long as he doesn't score too quickly, he can use the run like he's doing now. He can open up the playbook, kind of do a little bit of small ball and see if he can milk the clock and avoid a potential last play by the Denver.
Looks like Tundrayeti is going with Mecklenburg this time and just being smart with it, not forcing anything, hanging on to the ball with Tolliver, 3rd and short. We have a shotgun formation, and we have Smith in coverage. Another situation here, you might see a QB scramble, but nope, does throw it underneath to Quinn Early. Stationary target, usually a pretty safe bet with Tolliver. And we have ourselves another first down. Pass 2 did not take away this time. Many options for him. Throws to Miller. Miller's got a lot of room and wisely takes that out of bounds. That Tolliver to Miller connection is really working well here.
Yeah, and you can see that was he picked a run on that play. He was still kind of worried about it. That's the advantage of having your full playbook there is he had to cover the deep guy, and then Prime took the intermediate route there and had a nice gain. And
looks like nice dive tackle there by Smith and controlled by Tundrayeti. Had some blockers there on that low run play, and that even though he had the tap advantage, he felt like that was necessary in that situation. And a great throw over the top of Mecklenburg. Mecklenburg does not attempt to jump up and deflect that, and we have ourselves another touchdown. This could get ugly here.
Yeah, that can happen. Prime, again, I'll point that out. He knew his taps on that route. That was pass 3 shotgun formation, and that particular formation, when you have the 3 intermediate guys, it's short, long, short is what I call it. And so he baited him with a short guy and threw it to the short or the longer intermediate route.
I find that that's one of the last things that comes up. And we have an interesting sequence here. Vance Johnson picks up a fumble and just shot like a cannon out.
Oh, he went out of bounds.
And he may have been just saying, I need to go for this JJ. He looked like he was not going to be stopped if he got past that initial defender there. But
yeah,
we'll
he had a
never
lot
know
of
the end of
speed
that.
on that. I thought he was going to take that to the house with a couple of diagonal moves, or at least try it. But at least this way he gets another shot.
And we have a called play here, so this is going to make it difficult. And no throw is made. Gary Plummer with the sack. As they go into halftime, and of course they skip the sequence, what exactly, if you know the code enough, feel free to comment on this. Obviously, Brad is no speedster on the back end there on the return because of the aforementioned stats from the right tackle. But what causes such a boost in speed after that fumble that causes Johnson to run faster than even he normally would?
I don't know the answer to that question. I would agree with you, though. It seems like when someone else picks it up, they do seem to have a burst of speed. It's possible, then, that they're actually using their actual max speed instead of the right tackle. That would be my guess on that. Don't know for sure, but that would make sense. If it seems like when whoever picks it up, and it's a decent guy, it seems like he has a lot of speed, and it's usually because it's potentially their actual max speed.
And Prime continues to be in the head of Tundrayeti. Just seems to be in his playbook. He must have pulled a Belichick there. He's got Spygate or Tecmo or something. This is remarkable how often he's in his playbook. But burn route
nice
up top
burn
on
route.
pass one there. And looking good there. Johnson in the clear. Unable to get out of bounds, but out near the 50. Still some life breathing here for Tundrayeti.
Yeah, that was a nice burn route. There is some life here. He's got an uphill battle, but if he scores here and potentially gets a turnover quickly, he could be back in it.
And he does have the onside kick advantage, being player one, and better chance at getting that if it comes down to it.
Absolutely. That is, to me, the biggest advantage with being P1. I have seen onside kicks with P2, but it seems to be very, very rare.
And this spot in the field and situation in the playbook in front, looks like Kubiak is the choice with Elway going into bad. However, I think Elway, correct me, still has a little bit more mobility than Kubiak does, even in bad condition. Is that correct?
Well, I actually have the stats in front of me. In regular speed, Elway is going to be 25, Kubiak's in 13. So if Elway goes in bad, yeah, he still would be faster than Kubiak.
Okay, so we may see some balls thrown up here if Kubiak's in with that trajectory. Clarence Kane in bad, still a nice option, but Green did go into good. I think he liked what he saw there with ball control. Clarence K, one of the better tight ends in the game, even in bad condition, but he likes to take him out. And we have another called play, and it seems that no matter what Tundrayeti is trying to mount, Prime seems to know what best to take away.
Yeah, he's in his head a little bit, and it might be just from there's another one. Well, actually, that's not called play, but it might be that he's kind of gotten away from the run a little bit, so obviously you're going to have a better chance of picking plays. And
we have ourselves a block pass, trying to cycle down, letting wide receiver 2 run down the field, and just as he lets it go, he gets deflected. So it looked like he may have had an opportunity for to be caught near the end zone. Unfortunately, the ball never has a chance to get there. And this time it looks like Prime is controlling Gilbert. And nice completion there down to Jackson.
Yeah, gets a nice CC there, and he needed it because that was 4th and 11, and obviously down in points here. Was not sure he was going to get that. And once again, there is a nice defensive play by Prime.
I think Prime is sick of trying to take away run 3 in these situations, so he knows if he can get in there with Bird, he's been able to get that to work for him. And what a great threading the needle, Kubiak down to Mark Jackson, touchdown Tundrayeti.
Yeah, you've seen that a couple times now from Tundrayeti, being able to get that burn route, and you have to be quick on it. You can't hesitate. You have to know where that arrow is going to be at the snap of the ball, and he's hit that one for a touchdown.
I got to get this kickoff quick because Mr. Leslie O'Neal can get in there and potentially block those extra points. I see some people get lazy on their taps on a kickoff. Looks like Tundrayeti was able to get that done. A couple times I've seen here where Tundrayeti seemed to have the tap advantage, but for some reason, just inopportune times, not able to pull that off. I haven't seen in too many grapples in this one, but I think these guys are fairly close.
Yeah, it seems like they're within at least one tap away from each other, and if you're not, you can see if you don't tap right away out the get-go, that's what can make the difference. Or if you're not trying as hard, that can also just be the difference when you're that close and tapping.
So in this situation, obviously now we're down near the 50. The field is getting a little bit smaller. Do you find yourself more likely to want to keep the ball on the ground, or do you want to kind of play keep away with the quarterback?
It depends on the team. If I have a fast quarterback and I can scramble, I'm probably going to, look to try and send the guy deep and do a couple quarterback sneaks, because that will take off quite a bit of time. In this case, you have a good running back, and so if he's not picking your play, he might be trying to defend that pass. I think the big thing you got to keep away if you're prime here is you have Tolliver, and you don't want to make a ill-advised throw and have another turnover.
Definitely makes sense. Mecklenburg is able to get home there. Interesting sequence that having 2 seconds left on the clock, he decided to go out of bounds instead of letting the quarter expire. 3rd and 15, a crucial down here for Tundrayeti. Run one is called, and a really nice gain, 4th and 2, can be managed all day long. And without hesitation, Prime is going for it. The field goal may not help you in this situation.
No, it really doesn't. You're still gonna be down. He's gonna need 2 scores either way, and this way, if he goes and gets this, he's gonna be up by that 3rd score, and then it's kind of a dead game.
Well, the first down takes place there. Decides to stay in bounds, do a little more juking. Would have liked to see him go out of bounds there, but first down, nice play there by Prime.
Oh, I thought he was going to have that little JJ there.
Yeah, that looked like it could have been the dagger, but Tundrayeti survives an uncovered Anthony Miller up top, and more receivers available, and a critical interception by Smith. And
I kind of saw that coming. I was hoping Prime was not going to throw that because you could kind of see that was a risky play. He tried to squeeze it in there. I'm not sure if he thought maybe he could hit it before he started to move on his route, but that's exactly what we're talking about, what you don't want to do.
Well, you alluded to the poor ball or passing control of Tolliver and keeping the ball on the ground for safety's sake, and that was perfectly illustrated right there, especially near the goal line, so good call on that. Looks like we have a completion for first down to Mark Jackson, and 2 back-to-back negative plays here for Tundrayeti. Running out of time, needs to get the ball down the field. In this situation, do you have any preference as far as changing individuals at key positions in the wide receiving core, or do you like the alignment that he has?
I think at this point you might want to take. Yeah, and he did. He put Kubiak in. I think that's okay. You could put Humphries in there. I'm not quite sure offhand how good Humphries' hands are. He gives you some speed, but you already have a couple of good receivers with Denver. So I'm not sure you really have to make a huge move right here. If you didn't have, 2 fast wide receivers, you could look to put Humphries in just to get that speed. But in Denver's case, I don't think you really have to do that.
And we have a block pass on 4th down, and I think that'll just about do it here, Darthrockman.
Yeah, that's he really needed to score in there and then look for an onside kick, but that was painful.
Incomplete pass here, continuing to throw the ball even on a called play. Prime taking chances. I know this is a point differential league. The reason I know that is because I'm the one that set up the rule set. But looks like he's still trying to score, and wisely so. 3rd and 6 coming up here. That run 3 hasn't been as effective as I think he would have liked it to be. Smith is kind of in a natural position in that bottom safety position to combat runs that go to the top of the screen.
Yeah, Denver has the luxury of having multiple guys you can take on defense, and run 3 is not going to be beneficial to that. I mean, it's still a good play. You got the 2 lead blockers there, but there was an example. He got a first down on that, but he only really got about 3 or 4 yards.
And if you can make him go down the field in general terms here and take 10 plays to do it, obviously that's many more chances of potential fumble, interception throw on a different play. And nice pass there to Quinn Early. really just, with the exception of the interception, Prime has shown some proficient offense here today. Really no trouble moving the ball. And
Prime.
He throws the ball a little risky there, but it does get there in time. That delivery speed there, just enough.
Yeah, that was a little risky, but at this point, it's risk reward. Prime is going to win this game. He's obviously looking for points so he can seed a little bit higher into the playoffs. And if he doesn't get that, it's not like it's a game over. But the reward or the risk there with the payoff with that reward is now look at it at 724, and that's a much greater point margin.
Well, this kickoff might just wrap it up. Looks like we have time for one more play here. Let's see if Tundrayeti can get something launched down to the end zone for Pride. And O'Neal does get popcorn if he can outmaneuver these. The early throw, it looks like it was cut off. Yeah, you get that sometimes with those poor ball control or poor pass control quarterbacks.
Yeah, you do. If you don't have a good passing control, sometimes they just stop their route. Sometimes they go out of bounds. And a lot of times it'll happen when you're trying to go in deep. And not that it really mattered in that case. It's just, would have been nice to maybe finish with a score and avoid that point differential. But that's what you get with that passing control.
Well, very interesting stat here. I guess as we're calling this, nothing did not come to mind. I know that the action got away from Tundrayeti in this one, but no net yards rushing here. It looks like there were 5 runs, and they must have all gone for negative or net negative because there's nothing in the run column for them as far as any leader.
I can't say I've ever seen that. I'm sure that's happened before. I guess that's a credit to Prime's defense or for potentially picking his plays as well. But yeah, hey, great defensive game by Prime.
Well, thank you both for sending the video file to us. We're happy to do the commentary. I'd like to thank my partner here, Darthrockman, for his insight today. If you like what we're doing here with having 2 people call the games, really like to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit thumbs down. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more content from our online Tecmo Super Bowl community. This is Trojan, along with Darthrockman, signing out from GBLAN Tecmo. Have a good one.